않아. 그 사랑은 하늘처럼 끝없어. 믿음 속에 우리를 채워가 새로운 날 동안.
What up, people? Welcome to the R.E.P. We are now inside the underground subway and we're heading on our way to Kiheung. This is the map of where we are right now, and this is how it all works. It says 현위치, which means where we are. 의지로 사가.
지하철 기흥역.
We're about to start this walking tour around Kiheung and Yongin. Those who are visiting here in Kiheung and Yongin, more of people who live and work here, not so much of typical tourism because this is just right outside of Seoul. It's about an hour-and-a-half trip, almost depending where your accommodation is within Seoul. Really nice area, but it's also hustle and bustle. Keep in mind, people probably won't really speak English here, unless if you know how to really master it and you know what you are saying. We would probably recommend, better yet, just go with a local friend or someone who knows this area very well, since I've got my connections here in the area. But you just have to kind of be mindful of it. I'm just glad at least there's not a lot of crazy foot traffic here. Simple and quiet, just as I like it to be.
기흥구청.
It's not like pouring down raining, just drizzling right now, so at least it's not too bad. Nice to see that they have a lot of charging stations, especially for those of you who drive electrical cars. A lot of bikes here. Not a lot of people drive. I mean, people do, but also it feels like people don't. Easy to walk, or better yet, taking a scooter or bike than public transportation. We're going to start walking behind this office building here on the other end. Yeah, this is some neighborhood, alright. And the good news for those who are wondering, I was definitely very much on the edge feeling that. But here I am just really trying to my foot on the ground. 11.5 hours on a plane is definitely no joke. I did not throw up. I didn't have any bad suffrage. As you can see over on the other end, there you see the crosswalk. It's on a countdown and it's a very long wait. But at least be thankful for long waits instead of short waits, and then you have to wait for a while, but also it can get very rough on the side. We got our chance to start crossing the street. Here's another one of my favorite things I like to do when crossing the street, is seeing there's a crossway that goes to an X. So that way everyone can get moving quickly. It makes the traffic go a little bit more easier. Unlike some countries I know, they probably don't even have that kind of luxury. What about you? What's your luxury like when you cross the street? I do have some good news though today. I had a nice and easy slow morning. It lagged, but otherwise it's like not that bad. I was able to settle my phone and also my laptop for logging in. I don't know about you, but what are your experiences when you visited the same country? After the second time or the third time, it doesn't matter. What things have been better, what things have been worse, but what are some things that you can learn from that you will do better the next time? And this is what you call crossing the street in another country where it's an X-ray setup.
에덴 꽃나라
So I'll give you a little story spiel of when I was arriving here. I was actually in the train for hour and 10 or maybe even like hour 15. There was actually an announcement that apparently somebody was actually eating inside of the subway. My piece of advice, especially for those of you who are just first time visitors, number one etiquette is that you cannot, and I mean you cannot be eating public where it's like you're not a restaurant. Eating in public transportation, I know rules are not fun, even though I like rules, but also I don't. So for those of you who are just wondering, just don't be that person who's eating in the public's eye and then you're not really at a restaurant. I'm very fascinated by the way how this country, keeping their areas very clean, the way how they handle their garbage. When I was trying to dispose some garbage earlier ago, I had a little bit of some trouble. I didn't realize what was supposed to be in the garbage or what was supposed to be thrown in your own home garbage. I kind of got yelled at for it because I didn't know which way to be. You might want to probably do some research how to throw away garbage because they have very strict rules, very specific and very detailed. What to throw away, what to not. That's just how the customs work here. Nice to see a little playground right here. And as you can see, they all have very specific destinations for all their garbage. This is no joke. Over there, and then over here. So that's why you have to kind of research about how to dispose your garbage properly and ask local friends and family. This is me inside of Kiheung. One great thing I love about every station has a bathroom and also convenience stores. They got signs for the station room, transferring and exits, where to go next. Other side, look at that, sign for the bathroom.
왕십리역 서초 닭발
I'm now sitting in a restaurant where they serve chicken feet. Most people look at me like as if I'm crazy when I eat chicken feet. But just to you people, this right here is the traditional somek. One thing you gotta do when you visit Korea. Alright, one of our first dishes right here to try is this shrimp. Aqua. Aqua. Drink. This right here is basically what the takpao, the chicken feet is. It's in a soup. Now it's gonna be an experience. This is what I have in front of me. Well, here goes. I'm gonna try the soup for this first. Let's see where it feels like. Wow, that is some good spice.
앵커리지 경유해서 그래서 이제 전에 베네드 공항에서 처음 내려가지고 그래서 뉴욕에 좀 있다가 그런 다음에 이제 캘리포니아
First taste of Alright, so basically in this bowl it's tteokbokki, and then kunabun, dakpa, and then just bread and spices. This right here is the real deal. Here's to you people, for those who are watching this. We started heading back to the hotel. I'm definitely feeling a little bit slightly tipsy because, man, that was a lot that I just took in. And not to mention, after the stomach and the draft beer serving on that big glass, I'm definitely feeling a little bit edgy, but it's an experience that you gotta try. And I'm definitely feeling a little bit better today, spirited, than yesterday. After all that was said and done and what I had experienced at the restaurant, I'm definitely feeling like I got one of my wishes done. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm just glad that it's not like super hot. The sun is just beating on your face. The last time I came here, the sun was here. You can't always predict what you want and you can't always have what you want. Awesome looking ice cream it is. After a nice dinner, you gotta learn to just appreciate little things. Oh, nice taste of ice cream, gotta learn to appreciate it. So that night when I was having my wish fulfilled, which was having chicken feet and everything else that was served that night, it all came out to be 94,001, which equals $66.24 in US dollars. Some of the things I wish I had did, especially it's not really known for tourism, but at least you could still go there to at least kind of see how people live and work, what it's like to be with the locals instead of just doing all the typical tourist stuff. Although I didn't really get to do research about it, didn't really have the time, and I never really thought about trying to do tourism in that area. However, I was so happy to walk the streets. There's that good old saying, one attraction ends up becoming your whole day itinerary. I've been misread, underestimated, and left behind, but I stayed standing and I know who I am. I traveled not to escape, but to expand, to listen deeper than words, to walk into unfamiliar streets with my head high and my instincts sharp. I carry more than a passport, a story, forged in trials, betrayals, and second chances. Where others saw a tourist, I became a witness. Where I felt overlooked, I learned to observe with care. I do not film for approval. I film to remember, honor quiet moments, and document truth with dignity. I know how it feels to be misunderstood, treated like an outsider, even at home. But I kept going, showing up, heart intact, and boundaries firm. I blend in not to hide, but to respect. I move carefully, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. I pack light, but never forget what I've carried inside. Not all scars are visible, and not all journeys are on maps. I vow to be the kind of traveler who doesn't just take from the world, but leaves behind moments of peace, curiosity, and humble strength. I face each day as a mission, not for perfection, but to walk forward as someone who knows, I've seen hell and I'm still standing. Wherever I go, I carry the light that saved me.